right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Another day, another shutout. This is getting bad. Giants lose it 1-0. Great pitching effort by Logan Webb. Let us thank our sponsor, and we got a new sponsor tonight. First of all, let us thank our old-time sponsor, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Chapman Law Group. Give them a call for all your legal needs, 415-613-9483. You got a personal injury situation like the Giants do right now. They need a lawyer. They just they absolutely are permanently maimed, injured, cannot swing the bats. Give Chapman Law Group a call. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, and our new sponsor, we want to thank our new sponsor. This is, we're going to just sit here and give a tribute to these guys. So we will watch this can of paint tonight dry in honor of the Giants. 1 minute of watching paint dry, more exciting than watching Giants baseball. Enjoy watching the paint. All right, thank you to our new sponsor. Yes. Brought some excitement to the show. That's what watching Giants baseball is like. So we went out and got ourselves a can of paint. Lou, a can of paint. I think it's more exciting than watching Giants baseball. Let me get the music
And
off.
Dan, the Giants did something tonight I've only seen maybe a few times in my life.
What's that?
They had 4 outs in an inning, bases loaded, no outs, and still didn't score.
That's right. They got 4 outs because Adames
He
was
actually
out at second base.
I mean, come on. That's when you know things are bad. And, of course, the main man comes up in clutch situations, can't come through like usual, you know. And
how's he doing for you? How's he doing? How's the team doing for you? Great. He could pitch. So can Robbie Ray. So can Hayden Birdsong. So can Landon Roop. So could Kyle Harrison. What do you got on this team to find a hitter? What do you got to find a hitter, Cole? You going to go trade Encarnacion? Yeah, he'll get you.
Oh, God, he was thrilling tonight. Embarrassing.
Come on. You got to get hit. How are you going to get hitters here? Do you realize if they had a couple of hitters that you could go out and get? You could get Jaron Duran from Boston. They would make that trade. Duran has value. You could actually get rid of Yaz in the deal, and you could actually get some excitement going around here. You keep Webb. Go ahead. I love Logan Webb, but I guarantee you keep Logan Webb through his contract, 2 of things happen. 1, he either gets hurt during the term of the rest of his contract, or that he just stays here and becomes a free agent, and the Giants finish in 3rd and 4th place the next 3+ years. Because you cannot go anywhere without offense. They can't even score a run with bases loaded and 4 opportunities. So you could keep Webb all you want. Look, I'm not saying get rid of Webb because he sucks. I'm saying because he's the only commodity you got. You want to trade Eldridge to get a hitter? Why would you trade a hitter to get a hitter? You trade from your strength to get someone else's strength. That's why people make trades. You guys go ahead and keep, you know what, whatever. You keep Webb. Go ahead. I'll die on this hill then. Fine. I'd love to be proven wrong. Great pitcher, but he's the only asset you got. At some point, teams trade their star to get better. You know?
And Dan, I want to start off the day. I didn't like the news that we both got earlier in the day. I just don't understand the Giants' logic. I don't give a shit about options, but they made a huge move to bring up Encarnacion, who,
Yep.
Again, I know he's sort of a hope because we have nobody else, but he was embarrassing tonight. The first two at-bats, he had no clue what he was doing. No clue. Nope. That the second at-bat, I could have gone up there better, not swinging a bat in 2 years. Okay. The other thing, Lee struck out tonight 3 times. Okay. His average is dropping down. But let's start off with the main thing. Matos won us a game yesterday. Without him, we would have lost. He gets a home run. We finally see they're playing the youngsters. And what do they do today? They put him down. Now they have no more options. If they bring him up, they have to keep him up, or they're going to have to DFA him.
No, they can send him down. They can send him down one more time.
I was told this is the last one. They said
no.
Alex,
they can send him down. I don't know which one's correct. I heard they could send him down one more time. But the bottom line is, you sent Matos down. You kept Koss. You kept Wade, and you continue to play a 34-year-old Yaz who is sinking fast. What is? You know what? I bet
237.
Okay, he's down to 237. He's getting closer to his average.
Well, he wants to join Chapman at 234. So just give it tomorrow.
He's going to join the 220 club. I guarantee you. He's going to join the 220 club. This team does not hit because they don't know how to hit in key situations. I mean, Chapman hit the ball hard there in the 10th, and so did Encarnacion. But you know what? You get behind 2 strikes, you're just – they don't go to try and just, hit the ball in the gap or hit it where it's pitched.
Great point there. Great point.
Yeah. I don't understand. It is unwatchable. We got a lot of people in here that want to talk about this. This is great. Guys, let's see here. Giants offense is not slumping. It just sucks. That's probably about it right there, Nick. That's probably closer to the truth than we realize. He says Bailey sucks at hitting. Farhan had to make so many damn moves because he knew these players suck so much. Fire Pat Burrell, need a shakeup. There's going to need to be a shakeup, but I don't think they have it in them. Texas fired their guy. Baltimore fired their manager. Will the Giants ever fire their hitting coach? No, because he's a all-time, what do they call him? Giant, forever Giant or whatever, because he was part of
1 year.
Yeah, he's part of an era where they won. So we're going to just have this love fest with these guys. Matos way better than Encarnacion. Encarnacion doesn't look ready, but let's go ahead and send Matos down because, we wouldn't want to encourage the guy after hitting a 3-run homer and a base hit. He finally gets in, does 2 for 4. And what's his reward? See ya. I mean, this team, I think somehow Farhan's ghost is still running the team somewhere. What the heck? Dan, I'm worried the Giants team doesn't make the playoffs. I am worried this Giants team doesn't make the playoffs or wild card if they are lucky. Well, let me help you out, Steven. Stop your worrying. They're not going to make it. No need to worry. They're not going to make it. I told you guys that early in my predictions. I thought they'd be a winning team, but I think they fall short. Now, I'm thinking they're a 500 team at best if they don't make some moves quickly. You can't just keep this team, it's not like, they're hitting the ball hard all over the place. They had how many, 4 or 5 hits tonight? They hit a couple balls hard in the last inning or two. You're muted, Lou. There, you got muted yourself.
They were infield shots. They weren't like outfield. They weren't.
They had the one outfield shot. Ramos hit the bullet to center on the nose.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like the 10th inning. They were okay. So it was a one shot to the third baseman who was in to begin with. Come on, guys. It's the same thing every. The only good thing about today's game, Dan, the only good thing is about 4:00. Someone rang my doorbell because I took your advice, Dan, last Wednesday, and I got a little delivery with my 20% off from Bake That Dough. That's the only thing that made me through the Giant game. So, Aaron, thank you for getting it here. He didn't even charge me extra to get it here quicker. I still got the 20% off. Come on, guys.
Do you have some cookies left to eat?
I do. But this was, these are like child proofs to open up the package.
I know you need some scissors.
Yeah. So I had the oatmeal chocolate chip today because I'm a big fan of oatmeal.
All right. I might have to have that little pink one or whatever it's called.
Very good. So Aaron, thank you. I mean, if the Giants are going to drive you nuts, you might as well enjoy it with a few cookies. And again, if you do the logo like Dan's been doing, I got it on my phone, 20% off. You can't beat it.
That's right. That's right. Hey, I got to turn my air down. I'm getting a little warm in here. I get my sciatica going. I'm going nuts here.
So, Dan, we were 1 for 12. It's sort of hard to be 1 for 12, and again, that's why we didn't score a run, because we actually got a hit with a runner in scoring position. But like usual, it wasn't a solid contact to run in.
Someone might want to tell Dan there's plenty of baseball left. Well, thank you, Giovanni. I'm sure the Braves would be glad to hear that because they got 3 times the talent that the Giants do, and they're behind the Giants. So they have plenty of time to catch the Giants and surpass them. So, yeah. And the Padres, you saw what the Padres did tonight, and weren't they without
Machado in the infield? Machado did pinch hit.
Well, he DH'd.
DH'd, I mean, yeah. Dan, the one thing I did want to point out tonight, I don't understand. You're down a run in the 10th. You have a guy bunt the first 2. He's the best bunter you got on the team. You're down a run, and you make him swing away. You got to get the bunt down. Make the other team. So he tried to bunt the first 2. The pitches were out. So on a 2-0 pitch, you made him do it. And, of course, what does he do? He tries to hit a home run. He hits it to medium deep center field. So now you have 1 out.
When was this?
This was in the 10th inning to begin. Fitzgerald went up to try to bunt.
I thought that was the 9th inning.
No, in the 10th, or was it Koss? No, I'm sorry, it was Koss.
He got the bunt down.
No,
remember it was hugging the line. It was going to go foul.
Oh no, you're right. I'm sorry. That was the 9th inning. My fault. Yeah. Sorry, the Giants. There was a brief time where I thought they might score, so it happened so rarely. I got confused.
Hiroku's got it. They never cleaned house. It's the same. Look, they just changed. Couple of guys changed bedrooms. That's all. Everybody's still living here except Farhan. Posey was here. Maniason was here. Melvin was here. Nothing's changed. Yep. Nothing's changed. Do you see the looks on the Giants?
You got a super chat.
Let me see here. Okay. Juice Man Jeremy, $9.99. Thank you. Personally, Duran is the perfect option for the Giants. However, the Giants are too chicken to do that. Yep. He would be great. You stick him in right field. You'd have a great outfield of Duran, Lee. I'm not even sure if Lee's going to be the guy. I mean, he's just a slappy. Happy. I mean, he's getting overpowered by, heat. When the teams bring heat, he can't hit it.
And Dan, do you see how he struck out tonight? He tried to chop at it.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
Very lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. Giants offense with runners on is like a kid at a school dance, just standing there frozen, no idea what to do. Yeah. 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. Yeah. Freshman dance. What do I do? Do I go ask her to dance? I'm just going to stand here and hope I take a walk. Didn't Jung-Hoo Lee look like he was ready to take a little league walk when he took the called strike 3 earlier tonight, early in the game? He took a 3-1 pitch, strike 2, and then he took the 3-2 pitch, strike 3. And he was running off like he got a walk. He's like, I'm not gonna swing.
He's like a 6th grader playing the outfield for the first time in an 8th grade league, and he's only there because they were going to forfeit if they didn't stick him in right. He just stood up there completely lost.
Robert says, in a huge game, Webb is the man. Yeah, kind of like that getaway game against Kansas City, the last game of the homestand where he gave up 6 or 8 runs. When you want to go on a nice road trip on a good note and you lose 8-4, Webb's the guy in a huge game. Webb's the man.
And
not
how
always.
Can you say we lost? Who cares? We lost.
Well, he did his job.
We lost.
He did do his job, but
I thought he got sort of lucky on some of the calls. I thought the home plate umpire tonight was all over the place. When there was a couple hit batsmen, I thought they hit the bat. They didn't hit the people. There was a lot of acting involved in the first couple innings. It was, these umpires, they got to get better or it's going to get worse.
Hey, guess what, guys? There you go. Under 500. Without scoring a run, I wish there wasn't as much baseball left. Oh, man. Hey, look. You're bringing up a guy. You got a 23-year-old kid who hit 290 for you. Check out my video I put out tonight, guys. Came out about 5:45, about an hour before the game. It's about a 17-minute video on Matos and this roster. And look, you got a 23-year-old kid who's hit 290 for you, has been in the organization, goes to winter ball, plays in Venezuela, hits 300, is player of the whatever that league, puts on some muscle and comes over to camp, and he's never given a shot to win the job. He won the job in spring, but they still gave it to Yaz. What does that tell you about this stupid ass organization that puts a 34-year-old guy like Yaz and a guy and they send him down for a guy who was in the Mexican League last year, who hasn't made it in the big leagues. And this kid, you never give him an opportunity to do anything good. And he gets 1 to 2 shots a week, and he goes 0 for 4. And then he gets another playing time 5 days later, and he goes 0 for 4, and everybody says he sucks and he can't hit. And then you send him down after he finally does hit, and you reward him with that for Encarnacion, and you kept a guy like Christian Koss or Lamont Wade Jr., who's hitting 163 or 5 or whatever he's hitting, and you're keeping him. Now, look, I can get it. You want to keep Wade on the bench. He's a left-handed hitter. You need a pinch hitter that's left-handed. Fine. But what are you keeping Christian Koss for? What is Koss going to come in, pinch run once every 10 games? I mean, what's the use of that? I would agree with that. Luis Matos, Jonathan Kuminga of the Giants.
We heard about all of it. It was Melvin's idea. Did you see that on the
no, I didn't see
Alex's thing? Melvin says, hey, listen, he's not going to be getting much playing time.
Hey, if you listen to my video, Coach, I said the only thing that I can find positive out of sending Matos is if he was told, go down for 2 weeks, get consistent at bats, we have a plan, we're going to bring you back in 2 weeks. Maybe the Giants got a trade coming, and they want Matos to get ready. And they want Matos to maybe get 40, 50 consistent at bats so that when he comes up to the big leagues, doesn't have to kind of learn on the job again. That's the only hope I can think of. If they send him down and they're not bringing him back up, it's a joke. It's a joke. George says, stop hating on Webb. Who's hating on Webb? Who's hating on Webb in the chat? George, am I hating on Webb? I said he's great. What is That's a ridiculous perspective to bring up is KC. Oh, that one. All pitchers have tough outings. Well, how about the game before? Didn't he lose that one too? Didn't he lose 2 games in a row? Or the one after KC? Didn't he pitch on the road and give up 3 runs and lose?
Let me take a look. Yeah, because he's 5-5. So let me just take a look.
Look, he's an all-star. I get it, but I'm just talking about all these people that are so like we can't trade Logan Webb. Fine, keep Logan Webb. It's kind of like if you're the give me an example of you're like, you got Luis Robert. He's not having a great year, but he's on the White Sox. Can't trade Luis Robert. He's our best player. Yeah, you're going to lose 100+ games. I
think the problem with the chat is you guys don't understand. We're not going anywhere with Webb. He's the only trade aspect that we can do to make the team better. If you guys don't want to trade Webb, that's fine. But then don't expect the playoffs.
That's offense, all I'm saying, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
saying.
Look, this team, where's the beef, says Dan is the type to love Matos and Schmidt but want to trade Webb. Go figure. Look, what I'm saying is this team has to figure out its identity. You should be playing Webb or Matos and Schmidt every day until just past the All-Star break to see if they are part of your future or not. They don't get – look, you're playing Lamont Wade Jr. and Mike Yastrzemski above these two, and they're not going to be on the team next year. They're free agents. Yaz is 34. He's washed. Wade's 31. He looks washed. And you want to play them over Schmidt and Matos? You guys don't understand that that's your thinking. My thinking is play them and play them and play them. Look, they may be like, hey, they're not ready for prime time and they've got to go. But you know what? You got to find out. You don't know if these guys can play every day. You can't, Schmidt plays and then the next day he's back on the bench because Lamont's time to play. Look, I'm just saying he's hitting 190. He doesn't have that many at bats. Your average, if he goes 3 for 4 one day, his average will go up 50 points. You got to get these guys to play. You guys don't understand. I don't understand your thinking, guys, when you say they can't play. They play well in the minors. These guys hit 280 and 290 in AAA, and they can hit, but they don't get to hit when they get at bats here and there. Play them 40 straight games. And if they're not good, fine, you win. They're not good, but you don't know if they're good or not. That's my point. Bubrad, Schmidt's strikeout was ridiculous. Yeah, so was Chapman's. Do you get on Chapman, Bubrad? Do you get on Adames? Do you get on all the other players that are getting paid $25 million that come up in the heart of the order with men on base and can't drive in a run? Come on. It's easy to pick on Schmidt because you guys don't think he's good enough to play. Look, he's got to get a chance. That's all I'm saying. And Matos too. It's not like they have, Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds in front of these two guys. They got guys that are on the tail end of their careers and sinking, and we keep putting those guys out. I know some of you guys don't like Casey just because I promote him. Look, I'm promoting him because I've seen him play in the minor leagues. I've actually seen the guy play. Do you guys ever watch AAA baseball or AA baseball or single A baseball? If not, you ought to be. I watch these games on the MILB network. Okay. I know who the guys, I watch guys who can play. I told you guys that Chapman would not hit when he came here, when the Giants came here. I also told you that Willie Adames would not have anywhere near the year he had last year. Willie Adames is a 225 to 245 hitter. He's going to be a 20 to 25 home run hitter, and he's going to be an 80 RBI guy here in San Francisco. That's it. Okay. His career is on the wrong side now. He peaked.
I thought Schmidt played great defense today.
Yeah, you know what? He did. Hey, look, that last pitch he took that he swung and missed 3-2. I get it. It was a bad pitch. He chased it, and the Giants are all pressing. They're all trying to play hero ball. You know, he was trying to get that big hit, runners on second and third. And George, you're not going to trade. The Red Sox are going to hang up the phone if you say, give us Matos and Schmidt for Duran. Do you know what Schmidt and Matos combined trade value is? It's about 10. Duran's a 71. You guys that try to make trades, you think people want your crap for their perfume? I mean, I'm not saying Matos and Schmidt are crap, but they are compared to Duran. Come on. You guys, when you make trades, you can't just say, oh, I want to. It's like you're like some of the fantasy players in the fantasy league I play with, guys that want to give you 3 of their worst players for your superstar. Well, yeah, I get a 3-for-1 deal. Great. I got 3 bums that are going to sit on my bench, and I just lost my best player. I mean, come on, George. You think Boston's going to trade Duran for Matos and Schmidt? What are you smoking, George? Give me a break. That's why you got to get rid of Webb. You can't get anything of value if you don't give somebody good up. Okay? I mean, that's why certain guys' value is like 2 or 3 on the trade value. You know, until they prove. And the Giants just continue to drive everybody's value down because they don't play him. You know what Ramos' value was before he got into – Ramos was right where Schmidt and Matos are now. Like barely above the level of being negative. Ramos was so low, and then he brought his value up by playing. What a concept. They let him play. Why did the Giants let Ramos play? Because they had to. They didn't have any other outfielders. You think the Giants said, oh, we got this guy, Elliot Ramos, that's going to be a stud. We better play him. No, the Giants are idiots. The Giants are stupid, idiot organization. They don't even know who their talent is. And they don't even know how to find who their talent is. Look, Schmidt and Matos might be everyday players that could be really, really good, or they could just be really, really bad. Okay? I'm not telling you they're great. We don't know. You're going to tell me you know by 100 at-bats that are sprinkled over a year and a half? Come on. Ramos was out the door. They were ready to DFA him because he was out of options. He had 1 more left. They brought him up because Lee was out for the year. Slater sucked and was hurt, and Conforto was hurt. And what happens? Ramos gets hot, and he makes the all-star team. Good for Elliott. That's why we're giving away an Elliott Ramos jersey here, because he's the best player they got. He's the best player they got. So just don't give me this crap that the Giants actually know what they're doing. They don't. They don't. I mean, I'm a huge fan. I love Buster. My dog's named Buster. But Buster's got to say, you know what? Yaz, Wade, you're sitting the bench or you're going somewhere else. I know you're my buddies and I played with you, but they're not everyday players, period. And why you continue to play a 34-year-old guy whose career trajectory is on the downward slope, and you got a young kid who's possibly might be busting through if you gave him an opportunity like Ramos did last year. How do you know if Matos can play? You just don't know. That's my point. My point is they ought to be playing Matos every day so they can know what they got to do in the offseason or at the trade deadline. It's, it's either what's the term? Sink or cut bait, or how's that go, Lou?
Sink or swim.
sink or swim or whatever it is. Yeah, sink or swim. Let's see if he can swim. Let's see if Schmidt can swim. The Giants don't give him opportunities. And these are high draft picks.
Wasted.
Matos, high
Wasted
international pick. They did the same thing with Bart. They were doing the same thing with Ramos, their number one pick. No, but let's keep Christian Koss up here, who's a free agent from wherever he played, Boston. I don't know. This is his first year in the big leagues. Let's make sure we keep him. In the past, it was Wisely. Fish or cut bait. Thank you, G. Martinez. Fish or cut bait. Sink or swim. The Giants got to make a decision. And the decision time is before the trade deadline, so you have a plan and know what you're doing. So if you give these guys 40 games, they just might cut it. And if they don't, you know what? Now you know what? Hey, crap. These guys aren't really everyday players. We got to go make a trade. What do we do now? But you can't just be throwing guys like Encarnacion out there and expecting fireworks all the time. The guy's a swing and miss machine. And when he hits it, he drills it 110. I get it. He hits the ball hard. But
he's Serrano. He's just like Serrano's swing tonight. He couldn't hit the slider and he missed it, from Major League. And Dan, I'm going to bring up just one thing for Webb. I know everyone loves Webb. In his last 6 starts, he's 2-3 and a non-decision. His 2 wins were at home against the Athletics, who lost 12 straight games when they played here. And the other one was the mighty Colorado Rockies. So, we're going crazy about how great Webb is. I know he's got a good ERA, but you guys, he's 2-3 with a no decision, and his 2 wins are against the Oakland Athletics. I'll call them Oakland. I don't care. The A's, who lost 12 straight, and the mighty Colorado Rockies, who won their 7th game of the year tonight. Okay? So, I don't understand how crazy we go. Yeah, they did.
Oh, their 10th win.
Oh, is it 10th? All right. I thought they were stuck on 6.
10 and 50.
I'm just saying, yeah, Webb's good. But, guys, you guys are making him like he's the greatest. First of all, he's not even the best pitcher on our team. And, again, we go over this every night. It's because he has 4 years remaining. If he only had 1 year remaining, guys, we wouldn't be able to trade him and get anything for him. He would just – that's fine. You guys all fall in love with him. But you know what? All the Giant fans are the same way. You guys are living in a dream world. You think this team's good. Oh, we have great pitching. But you guys don't admit the main problem is we have no offense. I mean, it's embarrassing. Look at tonight, how many averages we're so bad.
Thank you for your membership, Jeff. He says he asked you, Lou, why are you judging him on his record? He pitched 8 shutout innings tonight against San Diego.
And tonight they didn't win. And he didn't get a win
I don't
himself.
I do see Jeff's point. You can't get on Webb. He did his job. It's the team. Look, my thing again is nothing to do against Logan Webb. I think he's a top 5, definitely top 10 pitcher in the National League. He's probably a top 5 pitcher. He's probably in the top 5 for Cy Young right now, him and Ray. But I'm not against Logan Webb. How are you going to find hitting? Where are you going to find it? Are you going to go down to, well, you couldn't find it in Mexico. How about Canada? Maybe there's a player up there in Canada that's in the Canadian League. Or how about maybe you go down and, I don't know. Is there anybody? Are they playing? Maybe you can go get somebody in India playing cricket. I don't know what this team's going to do to find hitters. But they're going to have to make some trades. Now, do you guys want to give up your young pitching like Birdsong and Harrison and Roop and Wisenhunt? Do you want to give up 2 of those guys to get some really good pitchers? Because it's going to take 2 to get a really good, maybe 3 to get a hitter. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because do you want to know that the values of Harrison and Wisenhunt and Roop and Harrison, all 4 of those guys are about half the value of Webb? You understand that? So
And 1/10
you're
the
not
payroll.
going to get a top player for these guys. You're going to have to give up 3-4 of those guys, and you're going to clean out your one strength you have to keep Logan Webb. Yeah, great. It's kind of like the Warriors keeping Steph Curry the next few years, which, great. I love Steph, and they better keep him just because they already got their chips, but they're not getting any more. Okay. The party's over. The ship left the dock. It's over for the Warriors. And the Giants need to figure out a way to get hitters here. I want to bring up this comment by George. He says, Dan, stop being mood for the minute. Earlier this year, you said Yaz made a turn for the better, and he's a very solid player. Now he sucks. Well, that's because he reverted back to his sucking ways. Because in the beginning of the year, he said he changed his hitting approach and that he was trying to not kill every pitch and that he was trying to be a hitter. And now he's going back to what he's trying to do, what I always saw him do the last 3-4 years. He's swinging and missing like he's, trying to kill it and put it into the cove. That's why he's batting average is going down, because he's not trying to be a hitter anymore. He's trying to kill the ball. And that's what Matt Chapman has done. Matt Chapman reverted to his ways. In spring training, he was hitting the ball all over the place. How many balls do you see Matt Chapman hit into right center this year? You seen many?
I think maybe 3, and I think they were just off the bat, barely made it over the second baseman.
He was hitting balls to the right center field wall all over the place in spring training. He was spraying the ball all over. Now he's reverted back to who he is. And if the ball is not a mistake right in the middle of his swing path, he can't hit it. Like Dallas said,
I thought also
to save his life.
No, yeah, it's well. Why don't we get to tonight's game? We can go to the Stars. Give you a little break.
Stars, Logan Webb in the bullpen. That's it. I don't. Do we have any offensive stars in this game? Let me look at the box score. Let's see. This team is a juggernaut right now, man. 5 hits in 10 innings. Wow.
Only 1 hit in the last after the 5th inning again.
Ramos, Lee, Flores, Chapman, 1 hit each, and Bailey got a hit.
Bailey was clutch. At least, he hit to start off the inning in the 9th.
Give him your number 2, Lou. Wait a minute. Let me see. Did anybody make a spectacular play in the field? No. Player of the game. I'm just going to go with Webb. Webb and Rodriguez. And how does Ryan Walker take a loss when all he did is get the 3 guys out he faced? He got them all out.
Because in the extra innings, when the guy
but you shouldn't.
I know.
You shouldn't take
agree.
the loss. That's ridiculous. He goes out and does his job and gets a loss on his record.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and again, he didn't have a great game defensively. He was Adamas again. We keep doing these problems on the base path, the base path. Adamas, does he not know how to run the bases? He's completely lost there. He made another horrible error, because everyone thinks, it's true. We only got him for the bat. He's like becoming a real problem. He's now batting a whopping 206. It's just getting frustrating. Once you get these guys on the bases, know what you're doing. He, again, doesn't look at the coach. He just does what he wants. That was embarrassing. It's frustrating. And now that, you give Lee a little credit where he did at least get the steal, even though he was actually out. But, Adamas is the highest paid player on the team. He should be an example. He shouldn't be making the constant errors. Defensively, he's horrible. Mentally, he's horrible. I just want to throw that in.
There you go. Hey, how about this tweet tonight that was directed? Let me see if I can find it. Maybe it's not in here. Maybe it just was sent to me. Maybe I have to, instead of looking at his tweet, I just look at my tweet and see where it's sent. But here's the gist of what he said. It's remarkable that a guy who went 3 for 34 on the road trip gets promoted to batting fifth when he returns home. And as expected, he Ks with 2 on in his first at bat. That would be none other than Mike Yastrzemski. Let's give it up for Mike.
And if you remember, I think it was 2-0 to start.
Yeah.
It's...
Look, and if some of you guys were looking at, saw my post of my trade today, maybe that was some of my web talk. Here's what I'm talking about, guys. Here's what you could trade for. You could trade Logan Webb, Mike Yastrzemski, and Mason Black. Their value equals 86.4 to the Red Sox for Jarren Duran, who's got a value of 71, and Franklin Arias. If you don't know who Franklin Arias is, he's just a 18, 19-year-old kid who's hitting at every level. He's hit like 330, 340 in the minors, and he's got speed to burn, and he plays second base and shortstop. No power, but he fits in perfect with this park. He's got speed and he can hit, and you get another hitter with speed and Duran. You change the makeup of this lineup and you start winning games. Look, guys, Brian Sabian got ridiculed for trading Matt Williams, right? I mean, who's better? Who's better, Matt Williams or Logan Webb?
I think basically pretty level when they got rid of Matt Williams. He was a guy, Matt had a couple good years, but it was after, you guys got to remember too, he's a pitcher. Pitchers can break down any minute, and, I think Logan, especially with that one pitch, all these pitchers seem to be going down. I don't know if he's ever going to be higher, that you can actually get more people for him at this moment. But, Matt Williams was an MVP, guys, an MVP, and we traded him. So we had to do what was best for the club, and we had a choice. Either we trade Matt or we had to trade Bonds. We couldn't keep both. So,
the reason that the Red Sox may be trading Jarren Duran is they have a stud by the name of Roman Anthony in the minors, just waiting to take a corner outfield spot. He's like their best player. He's the number 1 prospect in all of baseball. They also had like the 7th or 8th prospect and like the 15th prospect. They brought 2 of the 3 up. The last one to come up is Roman Anthony. They got room to make. Giants don't have that luxury, guys. Who do the Giants have coming up? We don't have. We have 1 prospect, Lou, and it's Bryce Eldridge, and he better be, the second coming, because the expectations on this guy are.
Oh, I've been saying that
over
since last year.
The top, and he's going to have to really, really perform. Dan said yesterday a AAA Bryce Harper. I'm not sure who he's talking about.
Oh, no. I saw Alex says by the end of the week, he's going up to AAA Eldridge.
Oh, I've already said he's coming up in June. I don't know when he's coming, but
yeah.
If you trade Webb, you better be an all-star, and that's not Duran. You have to have a Devers and other players back for Webb. Duran is a good player, but not a perennial all-star. Well, he's also 27, 28. How old's Devers? 30-something?
Is Webb going to be our all-star this year? I don't think so with Ray. They're not going to take 2 Giants pitchers.
They might. It's a dang good pitching staff.
No, because I think Ramos deserves it. You think 3 Giants deserve?
I don't think Ramos makes it this year. If Webb and Ray are pitching great, they'll take them both. You also got Duvall that could be candidate at some point if he keeps it up. Rafael Devers is he's younger than I thought. Wow, he's only 28. I didn't realize Devers was that young. Shoot.
He's got a big contract.
You could go after Devers. Devers would be a great guy for the Giants to have.
He just won't play first, but that's fine. We need his bat. More important, put him where he wants.
Yeah. We'll see. Randy Rodriguez could be an all-star too. Yeah, Rodriguez, first guy to have 20 strikeouts in a month as a reliever.
So Webb, because he has a good
ERA and not give up a run and not give up a run.
Yeah.
First guy to have 20 strikeouts in the month.
Strikeouts, not give up a run.
And not
he
give up a
it.
Run. Yeah.
And then the homestand does not get any easier. 3 more with San Diego, and then the Atlanta Braves come in. All teams that have good offenses.
Now, if you want to keep Webb and go after Devers, you could dangle Robbie Ray. That's a deal that might work. He's got a year and a half remaining. They might do that. Devers, they may want to move on from that. They definitely would have moved on from Devers, I think, if Tristan Casas didn't get hurt and out for the season. Yep, we talked about that. Sabian had the cojones to make a move. Williams for Kent, Wheeler for Beltran. Haven't seen this team make a big move in a long time. No, they're scared. They're scared they're going to make a mistake. And you know what? You're going to make mistakes sometimes when you're bold.
That's why we're never going to make the playoffs. We sit on our laurels and we're worried about something that happened 10, 15 years ago. Because the thing about the Giants, too, people don't realize, if you look right now, we're not even in the wild card. Okay, we're half game out. If we lose tomorrow, we're going to be a game and a half out. We'll be 5th out of the 3 teams ahead of us. Other teams are going to do whatever it takes to make the playoffs. We've been seeing the same thing for the Giants. It's going to be the same thing. They're going to be within 3 games of 500, 4 games, and they're going to sit on their laurels, and we're not going to make the playoffs again. And then next year, we're in the same boat, but just a year older. We got to do something, guys. Every other team's going to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I don't want to beat a dead horse because I know a lot of people, I get tired of talking about it myself, and probably shouldn't even talk about it because it's never going to happen because the Giants don't have the courage to do it. I saw one take in the chat that said my take about trading Webb is a Grant Cohen take. You know what? Call it whatever you want, but I can just tell you this. Look, I'll be glad to eat my words here if the Giants win a pennant with Webb as a Giant. That would be fantastic. But all I'll say is the Giants their offense is bleak. Each year that passes with these current players, you think they're going to get better? You think Chapman and Adames get better with age? No. So you better find some hitters because you got 2 of those guys you got to cover for 5 years. You got those 2 guys that you got to cover for 5 years. And you got Bailey. You got 3 major holes in your lineup that you got to find spots for. If you better have those other 6 be solid because you got Chapman, Adames, and Bailey for the foreseeable future in San Francisco. All right. And if you think those guys are going to just turn around and all of a sudden they're going to become, clutch superstar hitters, I think you got another thing coming. I think Adames, I read up a lot on a lot of things. The metrics were there for him to have a down year this year because everything went right last year. 13 3-run homers, a grand slam, and like 9 or 10 2-run homers, only 8 or 9 solo homers out of his 32. That's why his RBI total went up. His batting average was horrible, but he just happened to hit some home runs in the clutch last year. And he also did it in a dome stadium where the ball flies in Milwaukee. So maybe he's pressing this year and he'll get better. I don't think he's this bad. I think he's going to get better. I just don't think he's going to be anywhere near the player you thought you signed that you were getting when he, coming out of Milwaukee. I don't think he's going to be a 30 home run guy here. I think he's probably going to be a low 20s guy is my guess.
Hey, Dan, you know what? Someone said something that I've been waiting for the last week. Philip brought up a great point. We all talk about Wheeler trade that backfired. But we made the trade we went for, but nobody talks about after that trade, we won 2 World Series in 3 years. Nobody talks about it. Just it was a bad trade. You guys got to remember, because Buster, who was our best player, went down, we had to do something. They took a chance with a guy that's proven before. It just didn't work. But you know what? The following year, they won the World Series. Nobody even talked about the trade. The only thing about Wheeler right now is if we had Wheeler, you guys wouldn't be complaining about how great Webb is, because Wheeler would be our stud, but he's also making $47 million a year. You wouldn't have been able to get Adames. You wouldn't have had Schmidt, and all we people do is criticize, we paid Zito so much money. We did this. Forget about the Wheeler trade. At least they made an attempt. They made an attempt to improve the team, so I respect them for that. But, if we're happy with what we have now, our team right now offensively is worse than last year. That's almost hard to believe, guys. A couple guys in the chat, we still have not scored more than 4 runs in something like 20-something games, and, we have San Diego coming for 3 more games. Then we have the Braves. And then the whole schedule until July 13th is tough. It's going to be extremely tough. We might be done by July 13th. Do you guys think this team and our pitching, how are you guys going to feel after we go to Colorado? We have to go to the Dodgers for a weekend. Happy Father's Day in LA. Come on, guys. You guys got to start thinking not like a fan. You got to start thinking like a GM. How can we improve this team? That's what it's all about. If we can't improve the team, we're not going anywhere. Then it doesn't matter.
I'm one philosophy that I think the Giants are right on. I've ripped them how dumb they are when it comes to playing washed up guys over young guys that have potential. The one thing the Giants seem to have gotten right is they're not giving out big contracts to starting pitchers that are over 30 years of age and chasing these guys, giving them 4 or 5 years. Look, they passed on Blake Snell. Good deal. They passed. He's been hurt. Corbin Burns, they didn't want him, evidently. Everybody thought he was coming. We were all kind of upset. They needed Burns. In hindsight, I think it's the right move. Don't sign guys that are that old to long-term deals. You see how many arms the Giants have been lucky this year. They are really, really lucky. Tommy John hits almost every team. So what I got to say about this, I think Buster and Farhan were right, not chasing after these guys. What they need to do is keep drafting pitchers, keep developing these pitchers, and hitters. And if you can't find the hitters, then use the pitching to trade for the hitters. Okay? Because everybody's looking for young pitching. Everybody wants starting pitching. Everybody. Look, Tyler Glasnow of the Dodgers had a bullpen session, and Dave Roberts said he's just not there. He's hurt still. This guy's glass. They signed him for whatever they signed him for. He's not even available to pitch.
Yeah, from Tampa Bay. I think it was 3 years.
Or
something
more than
like
that, I think.
3 year, $94 million. I mean, $80. I mean, it was expensive. But that's the Dodgers. They have money in there. At least they're going for it.
Correct. At least they're going for it. Got a lot of comments in here. Let's see.
And while you're doing that, everyone knows our ownership is all about real estate. If we would have had who the Warriors have, where all he wants to do is win, he doesn't care about money, it would be different on this team. But it's not. It's been the same. You know, they're still sitting on the 3 and 5. You know, it's like, okay, 3 and 5. That was over 11 years ago.
Look at George's comment. Louis, you have no faith. I would hate to be in an alley with you to fight our way out. I would just tell you to run, get popcorn, and watch the fight. Oh, gosh.
It's tough to have no faith. You guys got to remember, we had 1 year. 2016, the second half of the season, we had a losing record. 2017, losing record. 2018, losing record. 2019, losing record. 2020, losing record. 2021, oh my God. You know, we won 107 games. People forget we didn't even win a series. We lost. So who cares? We won 107, we lost. We didn't
2022, 500. 500.
Okay.
2023, losing record. 2024, losing record. I think that's.
And we're the 5th biggest franchise, guys. You guys keep thinking like we're like, you know, the San Diego Padres or we're the, you know, Angels of Anaheim. We're not. We're the San Francisco Giants.
What's Philip saying here? Who's he? Is he talking to us or someone in the chat? Phil, I stepped away for a second. This hindsight BS makes me laugh. It's easy to criticize after when it doesn't work. It's very short-sighted. Philly hasn't won an effing thing either. So what the F are you talking about? Is he talking to you or me or somebody else?
I'm not sure. What do you mean
Philadelphia? Were you talking about Philadelphia or something?
No, all I talked about is if we would have had their ace, he's making $47 million a year this year.
Oh, he said he's talking to the chat. Okay.
Oh.
It's hard for me to read the whole chat because they're coming in flying and I can't read them all, guys.
Hit the like button. We have so many in the chat. Hit the like button.
Yeah, we got over 250 watching right now, so hit that like button.
Oh, damn, we got another super chat from Stefan.
All right, let me pull that up here. Stefan Perto donates $4.99. Thank you for that. We are going to lose 3 quarters to the Padres, lose 3 of 4 to the Padres, 2 of 3 to Atlanta, and get swept by LA. And by the deadline, we will hold, which is what we do every year, and it fails. Yeah, typical. Yeah, hold and do nothing. That's what I said last night on the Hot Corner. I said, if you guys watched the Hot Corner last night, I said, the Giants come trade deadline, please be 10 games over 500 or 10 under. I just don't want to see this 500 stuff. And they're like, what do we do? Do we sell? Do we buy? Let's hold pat. I think we got the horses to make a run in the second half. And then they do nothing. That's what Stefan is saying. Thank you. You are correct. It gets old. Be 10 over or 10 under. Let's just kind of pick a lane, Giants. Get off the middle lane. Yeah, I don't understand. Johnny says, Dan, until ownership is gone, things will never, ever, ever, ever get better, no matter what Buster does or does not do. I think you're right, Johnny. I think that is a huge problem. Yeah, let's go get Kurt Casale and Mark Canha and go for it. Hey, is that other dude available? What's that left fielder that had the hammy problem? Played for the Dodgers.
We traded the shortstop
for him
or the guy
left fielder.
that
the left fielder,
the speed guy.
I forgot his name. We traded for him.
Oh, you played 2 days?
AJ. Yeah, AJ Pollock.
AJ
Thank you,
Pollock.
Stefan. Yeah, can we get Pollock in there? Bring back the game. Casali, Kana, and AJ Pollock. That would be a trio. That would be a great trio, man. I would feel kind of like the Giants are really committed if they went and did that. They rush Eldridge. He's not going to be able to hit major league pitching, and you're going to wreck him like they did Bailey. Yeah, don't bring up Eldridge just to bring him up. Wait and let him crash the door. Let him break down AAA, destroy AAA pitching, and then bring him up, and only bring him up if he's got a chance to put you in the playoffs. And don't bring him up before the middle of August to screw up his rookie status for next year. Because you know what?
Dan, you saw people think it's not a big difference. You saw what Encarnacion was batting AAA?
He had 23 at bats. What did he do?
He was batting, I think it was 364, 2 homers, 10 RBIs.
Okay.
And then he came here and he looked absolutely overwhelmed. People don't realize, and I thought tonight for the first time in a while, Kruko and brought up a great point. Boy, you don't see that in AAA. Where literally, these curveballs and sliders, that's why they're in the major league. There's such a difference. When you get the pitchers in AAA, they can't throw these killer sliders or these fastballs 96 that move. That's the difference between AAA and the pros. The guy tonight was nothing special. The guy had an ERA of 5. Encarnacion was so full, and it was the same thing with our best hitter, Ramos. But, Lee's chopping down because he can't, it's the same thing. Guys, you got to let him. He probably shouldn't even come up this year. Let's just do it next year because it's such a big difference between, he's in AA right now, completely different. Okay. AAA, yes. But the PCL, you can hit. You don't see pitchers like that. If the pitchers are good. I mean, look at one of our best pitchers we're not even talking about is what, 8-1 in AAA? That's somebody that you should get excited about.
Yep.
So
Philip says, I know we get attached to their players, but the only way that we're going to improve is by doing something that's very difficult to do, and that is trade a fan favorite. Yeah. If they start winning, people will. Johnny Story says, Dan, they dodged a bullet with Correa and they got worse situation with Adames. The only thing about that's not as bad is they only have Adames for half the time. They're only stuck with him for 6 more years. Adames was never as good as Correa was in his prime. No. Correa was the star in his prime. Correa a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever he was, his first year, he was back in Minnesota where Minnesota was in the playoffs. He had a pretty productive year. But, yeah, 13 years, they did dodge a bullet. Look, guys, I want to kind of tell you, look, I tried. You heard me be positive with this team in the beginning of the year, and I was positive because they were hitting with runners in scoring position, even though they weren't, scoring tons of runs. They were coming up with big hits. They were pitching great. And they were playing sound defense. Now what we're seeing is a really anemic, mediocre offense. And look, I say things on here because I'm not bought and paid for. Lou and I, we were both season ticket holders. In fact, hey, Lou, my seats came up tonight.
I did see that. The guy caught the foul ball.
Yeah, I took a little video of it.
Yeah, I saw the guy got the foul ball.
This guy right there.
And I thought of you, 222.
See the guy in the orange hat? The guy in the orange hat, that's my seat on the aisle, 223.
Yep.
I was
right above me. I thought of you. Damn it, I was going to bring that up and I forgot.
Yeah. I was like, hey, that's my seat. That was my season ticket. So we were season ticket holders. Lou's been one forever. I was just one for a few years. And, the reason I'm Lou's financial planner is because I backed I got out of the deal and I'm not losing my no. Yeah, no, a little fun. No, if I had loose seats, I would find a way to keep them because those are,
Well,
my
Dan,
seats.
we keep talking about they started 8-1. I just want to review something. Giants won the opener 6-4. They lose the next game 3-2. They win the next game 6-3. Win the next game 7-2. Win the next game 4-1. Win the next game 6-3. Win the next game 10-9 in extra innings. Win the next game 4-1. Win the next game 5-4. Right now we're on a streak that is sort of scary. We bought it up last night on the hot corner. But since the 3-run homer by William Flores, when we scored 9 runs.
The 3-homer game, you mean? The 3-homer game.
Here's our things. You ready? This is how many runs we've scored, in case you guys didn't know. 0. I'm sorry. 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 4, 0, 2, 1, 1, 3, 0, 0. 1, 4, 0.
Can you do that again for me? Because that sounded like I needed to do. Here, let me do my exercises. Ready? Go.
All right, hold on. Let me get to it. 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 0, 4, 0, 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 0.
0. Okay. Wow. 1,
and where
3,
would,
2,
where
4,
would we
1,
be without
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And it's guys again.
I am with Philip right here. As far as he's concerned, everyone in that lineup except Ramos is trade bait or DFA material. Why would we settle on mediocrity is beyond me. Absolutely. Absolutely. If somebody came and said, you know what? We want Matt Chapman, the Yankees, and we'll, you're not going to get a whole lot for him because of the salary, but you got rid of that salary. Oh man, I would be like, where do we sign? Because gosh, this is going to be a long haul, guys. I really do think this is going to be a 3-year deal. I think this is 2025. You're going to be happy there's a strike in 2000 after the 26th season. You're going to be like, oh, we get a break. Now, 27, I think the first time the Giants might get competitive is around 27, 28. But this is why I say they should use Webb as a trade chip because he signed through 28. If you wait till 27 or 28, you're going to get just very little for him. Right now, you can get a haul. Look, if you go and look at the trade machine, other teams have values much higher than Webb. He's our highest value at 82. There's teams that have several players in the 80s, 90s, over 100. They're worth these young players that are really, really good. George says he has to disagree. There are 3 or 4 impact players away. Okay. All right. Let's count these, George. Let's count these impact players if the Giants are away. Where's one? Let's say Eldridge is 1. Where are the other 2 or 3 coming from? Where are they coming from? Because
next year's free agent class is horrible. There's one guy. That's it. So you're not going to be able to get a free agent. You got to make a trade, or you're stuck with the same crumbs.
Look, let's just assume Eldridge is 1, and you need 2 more pieces. Where are you getting those pieces? I wanted Pete Alonso too, Johnny. I did a video on it. did a video on it, and I don't know why the Giants didn't go after him. So what if he was going to opt out after a year? Maybe he does great and loves it here, falls in love with the organization, the city, and he says, I want to stay.
We signed
And you
Chapman
sign
with
him-
an opt-out.
Yeah. Yeah, Chapman was an opt-out.
And then, Dan, while you're doing this, Stefan had another chat, and I know the date because it shocked me. I don't know if you see the super chat for $1.99 at 10:50.
Not often. Not often.
September 12th, 8th inning last year against the Miami Marlins at Oracle Park. Runners at second and third. He hit a 2-run double. The ball somehow made it all the way to the wall. That was it. September 12th, 8th inning. I mean, I remember it. That was the only time all year he came through.
I'm sure he's done it once or twice this year, hasn't he? He's had to. Look. Yeah, you want to go after Mercatna? Do you really think the Giants have a shot at this Japanese third baseman with Max Muncy being a free agent and being the Dodgers third baseman? Seems like the Dodgers have a little bit of an in when it comes to Japanese players. They only have 3 of them. Now they just need a 4th. They got 2 pitchers and they got Shohei. They need, 2 hitters and 2 pitchers. I think this kid's a Dodger all the way, don't you? I mean, he sounds like why would he choose the Giants? See, this is the problem with the Giants. Yeah, I like this comment here. Everybody, yeah, all Japanese players are going to the Dodgers. Exactly, Mark. We all want the Giants to win. It's how we get there. People have different opinions. We all care. Exactly. We're all trying to figure a way. Let's just logically think this through. Okay, so you need at least 2, ideally 3 hitters. Let's assume Jung-Hoo Lee comes back for year 3. By the way, guys, he's signed for 6 years, and he doesn't have an opt-out until after the 27 season. And if he has the way this will work is he'll probably have a mediocre, he'll probably do what he's doing this year and next year, and then his 4th year he will break out and win the batting title. All right? And then he'll opt out. But then maybe the Giants will just have to repay. He'll probably like San Francisco. Now this comment up here, where did it go? The one I had up here with we all want the Giants to win. All right. Let's give me your ideas. How do the Giants get there? How do they find these hitters that they need? Who are you trading? Tell me who you're trading and who you're getting. Open line.
They're not signing. They're not signing.
They're not signing anybody. So Johnny says Dan Schwarber's a free agent next year. He's not coming here. He's not picking San Francisco to finish his career. He's not going to hit. He's not going to come here and hit bombs 414 feet and they die for now. Not going to do it. So tell me, how are the Giants going to get these 2+ hitters? They got Eldridge coming up. We're counting him at, let's say, first base. Fitzgerald's your second baseman. Adames is your shortstop, and Chapman is your third baseman. You need Bailey's your catcher. You're stuck. Sorry. Ramos is in left. Lee's in center. You got one spot, right field, and maybe second base. Trade Duvall and Webb to Pittsburgh for O'Neal Cruz. Okay, that's a thought. Okay, there's I don't know if that works. I could look up the trade machine. Give me some other ideas. I'm really curious, guys, because to get somebody really good, you have to have assets. Have you guys ever bartered? Like you guys want to, hey, I'll trade you this paint can for your Porsche. It's like, come on. Who's No, DH Encarnacion is not the answer. He's just not the answer.
He came from the Mexican League. There's a reason why he had to go down to the Mexican League.
Yeah. I mean, look, nobody was fighting. Trade Roop for Josh Naylor. You're going to trade Roop for a half a year of Josh Naylor? No way. He's a free agent. I'm not trading none of my young pitchers
rentals
for rentals. This isn't the year the Giants are going anywhere unless they can get somebody much bigger. Tucker, you need Tucker. You think Tucker's going to sign here with the dimensions of this ballpark? No way. 420, holy smokes. I'd trade Webb to the A's for Lawrence Butler and some other prospect or two to fill holes at second and catcher. That's getting better.
Yeah. Wilson.
Maybe Langoliers. Give us Langoliers. Tucker's probably going to LA. Maybe so. You can sign Naylor. You act like he wouldn't re-sign. You don't know that, George. You don't know that you could sign him. And then you're going to sign Naylor, and then you're just going to what? DH or put Eldridge in the outfield? Some more ideas, because owner not spending $500 million on Tucker, Mark Graves. Probably not. Shea Langoliers, Butler for Webb and Duvall. Make Randy Rodriguez the closer. A's need a closer. That's for darn sure. Webb and Roop for Devers and a prospect. You know what? I don't think Devers is – you got to pay that much for Devers. Let me look
His
at Devers.
Pretty fair, I thought.
Oops.
But he's negative on the trade thing, I think, because the contract's so big in his
Let me pull up the baseball trade machine for you guys. All right, we'll do a little trade simulator. All right, give me the teams. You want to go Giants?
I agree there, Johnny.
And Red Sox. I'm not looking at the chat right now because I'm on a different screen, so I can't see the chat until I bring this up. All right, I'm going to bring this up, guys, and I'm going to show you the values of these guys. Okay. All right, so here's the value. I know this is kind of small. I'll have to blow it up. Okay, by the way, Adames has got a negative 62.1 surplus. So here's the Giants' top surplus. Webb, 82. I'm going to blow it up as big as I can for you guys.
Perfect.
Okay, so there you go. You got Webb with an 82, Eldridge with a 56, Ramos 35, Jung-Hoo Lee's were 33, Fitzgerald's a 35, Bailey's a 25, and then below Bailey is Roop at 21.9, 22, call it Rodriguez 16, almost 17, Walker 15, Birdsong 11. That'll climb, guys. That's going to climb. Tibbs 9, Harrison 8.8. He was in the 30s last year. They update these weekly. That's going to climb. Wisenhunt's going to climb. I think Walker Martin will climb. Duvall was down to a 6. He was over in the 30s last year. His value is going to start climbing. So some of these guys' values are going to really jump. But let's take a look here at the Red Sox, at what Rafael Devers' value is, and some of the other guys.
One of the guys on the chat said he remembered the other day he's like negative 62, I believe.
Who's that? Devers?
Devers.
Okay. There's Roman Anthony, the rookie. Top prospect in baseball, 73. Duran is 71. Campbell is 66. Mayer. Look at those four guys. Look at Duran. Duran has got value. He's 28. Abreu, 47.9. Crochet. Okay. This kid, Franklin Arias, is a guy that I really have my eye on. He's the 3rd ranked prospect with the Red Sox. Hits and gets on base at every level. So, it's kind of hard to let me see. It's very hard, guys, to figure out, the chat. I didn't even find Devers. He's negative, I think. Trade with the Guardians. Give me Austin Hedges, Stephen Kwan, and Dan. I like Kwan. Yeah. Hedges is a catcher or what? Dan Sheeman for Webb and Duvall and Ray. That's probably too much the Giants are giving up there. You got to realize Webb's value, guys, is up there high. Let me see here. Anyway, you guys have given us some ideas, but George Curry says Duran is 71 because he's in Boston. It's like USC football, and they're 4 out of 5 players who suck. Their values are dumb. Webb for Gunnar Henderson, that would work because the values match. Henderson's right where Webb's value is. Yeah, get some blue chip players. Exactly, Mitchell and Ness. This team has to look, guys. Think about this Giants team. Look who they played tonight. Do we have a Machado in our lineup? Do we have a Tatis in our lineup? Do we have a Jackson Merrill?
Yes. I would say Jackson
Ramos?
Merrill, maybe Ramos. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Merrill's better. He's only 21, and he's should have been Rookie of the Year last year, but Skeens had a great year.
Sophomore slump.
But Merrill's a heck of a player. Ramos probably be the closest match. So they got 3 players. Do we have a Luis Arias type hitter? No.
I'd say not. Maybe in the maybe Lee, who can maybe hit sort of like him and has speed, but
Lee's a 275 hitter, maybe 285. Arias is a 310, 330 hitter.
Dan, speaking of that, Machado is out tonight because he's injured. Did you see how good that third baseman is for the Padres?
That's Iglesias that was with the Mets last year.
My God. I mean, my God, he's like a vacuum there.
I don't know what this team is going to do. Guys, they don't have any players in Sacramento that are ready to come up. There's none.
Except Wisenhunt. That's it.
Yeah, there's no position players. There's no position players in Sacramento, guys. Chandler Simpson, that guy can fly. Carson Williams, Braden Daniel, and Denny Jansen. Gunnar and Holiday play the same position. Who would Baltimore give up first? Mark Graves. That's a great question. I proposed it in a video last week. Webb for Holiday. They might give up. I've heard they might be more willing to let Henderson go because they didn't extend him, and he asked for an extension, and they didn't give it to him because they got Holiday underneath him. That's 3, 4, 5 years younger. Then Holiday's like 21. So
Dan, sorry, Julio, we never said trade Lee. We never bought him up, and I've been.
He's talking to somebody in the. He's talking to somebody in the chat.
Sorry, because Lee, I agree. I go to the Giant games, and you hear the cheers every time he comes up. They have their section out there. They give T-shirts every day about him. He's the only jersey out there, and he's promoting everything because the Giants are so desperate to get people out there. I don't know how they had 34,650 tonight when the whole entire top was empty. So, these crowds are sort of a little out of control. But, Lee's the only guy that we can have brand about the Giants, him and Webb. That's it. Nobody else. And then, unless you want to do something about Mr. Grunt, every pitch, Ray, but he's old.
Let's take a quick peek, guys, at the Giants, because we're talking about where's the help coming from. Okay, here's their top prospects, guys. Oops, what happened there? Why did I go on to Amazon? Let me hit escape. What the heck? Why did Amazon? Is the Amazon showing?
Yes. It looks like you're getting a brand new Dell computer.
Yeah, what the heck okay, I hit the back button. It's like, what the heck? All right. So Bryce Eldridge, guys, he'll be here maybe August, September, but should be next year, 20. Wisenhunt, we probably will see this year. He's 24. Jasar Gonzalez, De Jesus Gonzalez. He's going to go by Gonzalez. Look, his projected ETA, 2030, guys. Okay. Webb is gone, or they've re-signed Webb, and you're like, why did we re-sign him? He's 34 and he's falling apart. That's what you'll be saying. So that's your second best non-pitching prospect. James Tibbs. He's in high A. They're expecting him as early as next year. Where are you going to play him? Maybe you're going to take over right field. You're going to put him above Matos already? Okay. Johnny Level. He's another 5 years away, 29. Okay. You see what I'm talking about? This Giants farm system. Dakota Jordan. I watched him play down at San Jose the other day. Good looking kid as far as tools. Strikes out a ton. Hits the ball hard. Hits it up the middle mostly. But he's a ways away. So he's got some growing to do. Joe Whitman, he's a pitcher in Double-A. Rainer Arias, he's 3 years away. He's in rookie ball. Bo Davidson, he's in high A. He's probably 2-3 years away. Trevor McDonald, a pitcher. Trent Harris, a pitcher. Mason Black, a pitcher. Maui Ahuna, he's in A ball. Probably not going to be that great. Wade Meckler, we've seen that dance. Okay. Diego Velasquez, Double-A. This guy's he's a scrappy player. I like this kid. Everson Arteaga, he's at Double-A. Maldonado, another pitcher. Reggie Crawford, will we ever see him? Josh Bostic, Carson Seymour, Carson Ragdale, pitchers. Walker Martin, this guy can smoke the ball. He can hit. He's in San Jose. He's 3-4 years away. He's got to cut down on his strikeouts. Sabian Sabalas, guy's hitting barely over 200 in Double-A. Okay. Where are these guys? Look at A ball, rookie ball. That's your top 30. Okay. Do you understand where I'm coming from now when I say the cupboard's empty? And the guys that you're looking to come up from the Giants farm system, why do I say 27, 28 at the earliest? Because that's when these guys are coming up. There's nobody. Look, I didn't even see Luciano in there as a prospect because he's not considered a prospect anymore. He's graduated. Where is this team going to hit? Where's it coming from? You're going to have to use the assets you have to take that asset and turn it into more assets. That's what you're going to have to do. Come on. Think about it, guys. You've all done different types of trading in your life, whether it be traded up
baseball
for a better
cards,
baseball
girlfriends,
cards, women.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's so funny. See, I think the big problem is we're still 3-4 years away. You guys got to remember, and Dan brings this up a lot, the Dodgers already have a plan for next year. They have a plan in 2 years because their guys are getting to the point where they're going to be done. They already have their prospect 3 years. 3 years. They might lose 2 of their top 3, but they already know who they're going after. The Cincinnati Reds guy's probably going to the Dodgers. Dodgers are a machine. And for us to get even in the same room as the machine, we have to give up some of our prospects. Sorry. That's just how it is.
You're either going to have to give up some of your younger, better prospects, but most teams that are in a pennant race that are looking for ready-made starters, they're not looking for the guys at A and AA. They're looking for the Birdsongs and the Harrisons and the Roops. They're looking for guys that can help them. Well, I should even put it different. The top teams, the teams that are ready to win this year, they're wanting Ray and Webb. The teams that are building, they want the Roops and the Birdsongs and the Harrisons. Okay, the teams that are like
away.
That are a year or 2 away.
Yeah.
The Giants should just be trading most of their assets away and building for 27 and 28, and just say, see, that's the problem. The Giants never did a rebuild after 16, and they still doing the same thing. And what have they done? They made it 1 year. Forget 16. How many? Let's see, Luke, count with me. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 5, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is the 9th year. And if they don't make the playoffs, it'll be 1 out of the last 9. And that was probably could have been the worst thing that happened to the Giants, because it set them back thinking they were a team ready.
Better than they really were.
Yeah. So the Giants have this incredible pitching staff. And yeah, Mark Graves, where's our Jack Cagliani? Yeah, this is what I've been saying. Where is our Ronald Acuna? Where's our Ellie De La Cruz? Where's our Jackson Churio? Why do the Giants never find one of these guys? Hopefully they do in Eldridge. Hopefully that's our guy. So it is time that the Giants look to, in my opinion, it's not a popular opinion. I get it, because everybody loves Logan Webb. And everybody loves Steph Curry, but you don't trade a Steph Curry unless Steph Curry says, I want to be traded. You let Steph Curry, he's earned, his stay, whatever he wants to do. He's a mega star, right? He's one of the game's all-time greats. The Bay Area has been very fortunate in having some all-time greats. You look at Steph, and you look at Willie Mays and McCovey and Bonds, right? And then you look at the 49ers with Montana and Rice and Lott, and
these are Hall of Famers we're talking about. We're lucky we have Hall of Famers. Webb's not a Hall of Famer, guys. Let's remember that. He's not won a Cy Young Award. He's just a really good dude. And his last 3 years, he's 500.
He's 28. I think he's one game over 500, 28 and 27 in his last 3 years decisions. Look, he's an excellent pitcher. Is he Sandy Koufax? No. Okay. Some of you guys are just going to have to give up on the idea that you're holding on to Webb because you think you're going to win a World Series with him, and you can't win one without him. That's the problem you're thinking, is he's your one asset that can bring you some young hitters that are really good. You just have to go be creative and find it. So, is he Matt Cain? Yeah, he is. Yeah, he gets caned a lot. Look, I would not trade Webb either if I didn't have any other assets of pitching behind him. I would say, well, we have no pitching. Why would we get rid of our one pitch? But you have pitching. So, look, I think Birdsong, if I was rating I think Birdsong is going to be better than Webb. I think he's got more dominant stuff. I think, Webb was on when Webb's on and that sinker's working, he's very, very good. He's very, very good. And he's really, really hard to hit. And I mean, to really get hard contact. The thing about Webb, guys, is why Webb could bring you a lot is not only is he very good, but he's well known around baseball as being very good. Okay. And so because he's highly touted, people would love to have a Logan Webb, and they're going to give up something of value for Logan Webb. And that's the only reason. Look, I'm a Giants fan who wants to see this team get better. Do you guys enjoy watching this team right now? I mean, it's hard to watch them at the plate knowing they're most likely not going to score. So that's my whole thing on the Webb thing, guys. It's not look, if they had hitting, if the Giants had two more hitters, if Eldridge was up here producing and they had another hitter and this Giants offense was, up there with some of the other offenses, I would not even be suggesting they trade Logan Webb. I would be saying you're nuts. Why would you trade away one of your top pitchers that eats up innings and goes deep into games because he's such a great commodity? He would be helping you win, but they don't have any hitting. And I just showed you there's no hitting coming. Where's the hitting coming from? Look, they're going to give up Giants 3-4 runs a game. And there's going to be most games where they can't score 4 runs, especially at home. It's a very tough park to score, especially at evening weeknight games. I've said it over and over. They hit on the weekends much better. I don't know. I guess the ball does pretty well in the daytime, doesn't it? It'll carry. It's that heavy air.
With that said, Dan, just to be positive, guys, we're getting low on the squares.
Yep.
If you haven't been on recently, we're still doing the giveaway for the young lady up in Carson City. We've added 2 gift certificates, one at Capo's. Tony G and Grace, who are the GMs there, are giving us a $50 gift certificate for Capo's. Awesome place, great, incredible pizza. They take real good care of me there. And then the other night on Friday, sort of a famous place on the chat because of what's happened there. Tommy's Mexican on 24th and Gary in the city heard that we are giving stuff away. They loved our cause, so they wanted to outdo Capo. So they're also giving us a $50 gift certificate and a gift certificate for a pitcher of margaritas. So for $20, you're getting 4 front row seats. You get to go on the field. You get to see a game. Father's Day's in 2 weeks. Buy your dad a couple of squares.
Well said.
Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network have teamed up to give back to the community. We ask for your support as we aid in Haley Busby's fight for life in her battle with liver cancer. To take part in this fundraiser, you can purchase an entry for just $20, and the winner receives 4 front row dugout seats at Oracle Park for your choice of an August 8th game versus the Washington Nationals or the August 29th game when the Giants host the Baltimore Orioles. The winner will also get an on-field experience on game day and attend batting practice. So secure your entry now, as eligibility is limited. Draw date to be determined. The Busby family, Giant Sports Talk Live, and the NorCal Sports Network thank you for your participation and contribution to this worthwhile event, covering the San Francisco Giants and giving back to those in need in 2025. Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network.
All right, there you go.
Yeah,
Make
I
sure
like
you
that
get
with the
your
double
tickets.
emblem. And Stevie O, if you live up in Carson City, are you familiar with Silver Oak Golf Course? Silver Oak Golf Course in Carson City. They're putting the word out. They probably have about 20 to 30 people that have been watching the Hot Corner from there. But if you know that golf course, Silver Oak, the GM there, her name is Megan. And we had Megan's Kennedy, who was her niece. Sorry, her niece was on the other day. So if you live up there, go by that golf course. They try to help us out and help her out. So
Absolutely.
go ahead. Sorry.
And let's end the show here. But Dallas, great point. And as I was trying to say earlier, same thing. Guess what happens next year when you don't know if Matos is a big leaguer and he's out of options? This is why I'm saying it's the perfect time to play these guys before the trade deadline. Why? Because there's nobody good in front of them. It's not like, oh, wait, before it was who? Conforto and Slater were clogging the things up. And they had to pay Conforto because they were paying him $18 million. But Lamont Wade Jr. in place of Schmidt, Yaz, really? Yaz in front of, you know what? You want to make this team a little better? Try putting Matos out in right field and putting Yaz as a pinch hitter extraordinaire and a great defensive replacement, and see what that can do. But I don't know. The only positive I can see is that they do something. They do something with Matos, getting him ready in the minors, and they're giving him, I think he can't come back for 10 days or something like that unless somebody gets hurt. I think that's what the deal is once you send him down. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. But let's say he goes down for 10, 12 days. He gets some consistent at bats, plays every day. And then in the meantime, the Giants have some kind of trade that they can do, and they move off of Yaz. I don't know. That's the only positive I can think out of this. Otherwise, to me, it's a move that's gutless. The guy hits a 3-run homer and goes back to the minors. The Giants finally win a game, have a good feeling. How much of that?
The plane ride home.
Yeah, how much? But how much? How do you think that clubhouse felt tonight, seeing their compadre Matos sent down after winning the game yesterday, and how high he was and how excited he was in the dugout? I mean, look, I'll show you. Well, I won't show up. I got a video on my phone. Maybe I can show the last part of it if I have it here.
And tomorrow night, San Diego has their bullpen starter. That's what they're going to do. So we got Roop. So hopefully Roop can keep the bats quiet.
Oh, here we go. No, that. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Wait, hold on here. Hold on. Look at it. There's a picture of him here in the dugout. He's all excited, going to give a hug to the guys. He's celebrating here.
And the plane ride home was probably awesome, dude.
Look at that. Celebrating. He's all pumped up and super excited, and the team's all excited. He finally gets to play. He gets 2 hits. It's a 3-run homer, and on the plane ride home, he's enjoying himself. And then today he gets the news he's got to go back to Sacramento. Yeah. No, we don't have room for you. We're a hitting juggernaut, Luis. I have no room for it. Well, imagine the conversation. Okay, I'll play Melvin. You play Luis Mato.
Hey, Skip, you need to see me?
Yeah, hey, Luis, really great job yesterday. You really did.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic job. Great
Yeah, I'm excited to hopefully get another start soon. It was exciting.
Great to see you get out there and come through with your shot. You hit the big 3-run homer for us. I don't even know how to bring this news to you, but
something happened with my parents. Everything okay?
No.
Okay. Good. Sorry, man.
Yeah, we're just in a roster crunch right now, Gerard is ready to come off the 60, and we need to bring Gerard up here, and he plays some outfield, and he's right-handed, and we just feel like the best move right now for this team and for you is to get every day at bats.
Huh?
But yeah, every day at bats down in Sacramento. So we're gonna send you back down. We believe in you. We expect see some big things. Go down there and tear it up, and we'll bring you right back up here and platoon you again.
All right, Skip, you must know. I'll tell my agent and I'll tell my family. All right. Well, thanks for the opportunity. Hopefully I can see you soon.
Well, it's not that we don't believe in you. We're very top heavy right now. We got Mike and we got Gerard and we got Lamont and we got Christian, and we just don't know if we have any room for you because, this team is, we're getting calls every day on these guys wanting our players, but we just, the Mexican League's calling us wanting these guys back. And we just said no.
Mexican League. All right. Are you sure I belong on this team and with this franchise? Because, last year I got player of the week and then you guys put me down. All I'm asking is for a chance. And, I've only had 2 games in the last 10 days and I proved myself. And now you guys are going to put me down. All right.
Well, Luis, we believe in you. We expect big things from you down in Sacramento, and go tear it up. I think hopefully there'll be, an opportunity will arise. Go make your opportunity. And I just want to see you get every day at bats. And you're supposed to say, well, why can't I get every day at bats here?
I'm still a little shocked, but okay. I go,
Yeah.
You're the Skip,
Yeah. I'm just curious how that conversation went, man, because that's just like the timing of it. Just the timing of it. I mean, you couldn't have waited, let him play a couple more nights, and if he didn't do well, then send him down.
Especially where you need offense, against the Padres and Atlanta.
Yeah. I was wait, where did I see that? Hold on. These things are coming in so fast, they move. I was rookie of the year in Venezuela League. Was Gerard MVP in the Mexican League? Hey, Skip, I just won the game for you, and the team can't hit themselves out of a wet paper bag. Oh, man. Wow. Posey, trade your half-brother Yaz and release your stepbrother Wade. Put a deal together for a big bat. Wake up and stop being sleeping behind the wheel. Wake up Maniason, too. Yeah, these guys, it's nuts. Anyway, guys, we've been going a long time. We'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Make sure you do hit that like button on the way out. Tomorrow night, the Giants. Who's going tomorrow night, Lou? Is it Roop time?
Yeah,
Roop?
Against a bullpen for them.
Okay. All right. Well, it's Tuesday night. They put the cartoons on, the outfits on tomorrow night. And we'll see if the Giants can get on the win column. Right, guys. 1-0. Got shut out 1-0 on Saturday too, didn't they?
Yeah, and I'm still amazed. 4 outs, we get bases loaded, nobody out, and we can't even score.
Yeah.
All we need is a fly ball.
Unbelievable. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night.